Pelham 336, approach level 40. Maintain, Pelham 336.
The aeroplane has evolved into an indispensable means of transport. Fast, flexible, capable of deployment all over the world under numerous international agreements, and highly reliable. It is certainly the most modern and advanced mode of transport, although there will always be something to improve.
Currently 10, it's a very busy day. Expected approach time 1055. Please park the aircraft at the present place.
The aircraft is clearly meeting a growing need. Every year, more passengers and more cargo. This growth means that airports are increasingly struggling with capacity problems. More and more aircraft want to land and take off than an airport can cope with.
KLM 686 is clear to land on 27, the wind is 200 at 9. November 190.
Safety requirements naturally limit aircraft separation and thus the number of landings per hour to a certain maximum. The aircraft seeking to land at Schiphol are shown in sequenced form before the runway. The distance between the aircraft, or separation, in this sequenced row has to be at least 3 miles. This then determines the maximum number of landings on a single runway, 36 an hour.
Sky 5519 miles from touchdown, 4 miles behind Boeing 727, Connect Tower.
In practice, the figure is often lower, because the required separation behind heavy aircraft is more than 3 miles. Passenger travel preferences, and thus airline schedules, mean there are 3 peaks of inbound traffic a day, in which 40 to 60 aircraft seek to land each hour. This may mean that aircraft are directed to a holding or stack, where they fly waiting patterns before they approach the airport. The resulting delays burn a lot of time and money. As safety always comes first in flying, nobody will wish to tamper with ICAO separation margins. Other ways of increasing airport capacity are therefore being sought. An obvious solution is to make use of a second runway. This would then almost double the capacity to 60 landings an hour. An excellent solution, but one which creates new challenges. Schiphol has a tangential runway system centered around the airport terminal. This means that most runway combinations are convergent. If 2 aircraft approach simultaneously on such a runway combination, and both are urged to break off the approach, a so-called double missed approach situation, a major problem could arise at the intersection of the 2 runways. In good weather, a visibility of 5 kilometers or more, and a cloud base of 1,000 feet or more, the pilots can see each other, and the traffic and the air traffic controller can also see them both. In the case of a double missed approach, visual separation will prevent hazard situations. In poor weather conditions, however, the air traffic controller will need other tools and procedures to ensure that an unsafe situation is extremely remote. The air traffic controller already has a wide range of electronic aids at his disposal: radio, radar, identification and landing systems. In a modern air traffic control system, all the information is brought together and presented to the air traffic controller in manageable form.
072, hello, via North and inner to Bravo apron.
To enable aircraft to land simultaneously on two converging runways, in bad weather conditions as well, the air traffic controllers have welcomed a new tool: CRDA, Converging Runway Display Aid. CRDA consists of a software package with supplementary procedures as part of the operation DCIA, Dependent Converging Instrument Approaches. With this procedure, the air traffic controller can stagger the aircraft on two runways so that they will not arrive at the intersection at the same time. The principle behind CRDA is a simple one. In addition to the actual aircraft, a virtual or ghost aircraft is projected onto the other approach line. This ghost makes it possible for the air traffic controller on the other approach line to position his traffic behind it precisely. In this way, landing aircraft are ideally staggered on the converging runways, thus providing a full safety margin if a double missed approach should occur. CRDA was developed by MITRE Corporation on behalf of the FAA. Since 1992, it has been used at Lambert International Airport of St. Louis, Missouri. The idea has been shown to work very well in practice, so well that 22 other US airports are also seriously considering the introduction of CRDA. Schiphol is intent on being the first European airport to introduce CRDA. ATC Netherlands, the Dutch CAA, NLR Aerospace Laboratories and MITRE are pooling their efforts to adapt CRDA to European requirements at Schiphol, and they are collaborating on the necessary validation of CRDA, for which there are at present simply no ICAO standards. All four are introducing their specific know-how for the certification of CRDA. To begin with, it is decided which runway combination is the most advisable and suitable for CRDA operations. MITRE conducts technical and operational research into stagger values and procedures. On the basis of mathematical models, the NLR conducts a risk analysis or sensitivity study. In this way, the CAA and ATC Netherlands were able to validate the CRDA concept. The software for SAP air traffic control system is written and modified. Simulator tests on SAP Sim and at NLR provide insight into the operational consequences of CRDA. A CRDA training program is systematically applied. The final result, new safety standards and procedures beyond ICAO standards and impeccable implementation. But even with the aid of CRDA, there are conditions in which converging instrument approaches are not possible. Aircraft approaches using CRDA are regulated on the basis of clearly defined standards and rulings. Even the most unfavorable combination of aircraft speeds and wind condition will provide a buffer of 1 mile at the intersection of the two runways in case a double missed approach occurs. With CRDA, air traffic controllers will substantially increase Schiphol's capacity in poor weather conditions. In the case of the runway combination 0601 right, the number of landings per hour can be increased from 32 to 44, and for 19 right 27 from 32 to 38. The knowledge and know-how accumulated by ATC Netherlands, the CAA and NLR during the introduction of CRDA is also of interest for other European airports, and the developments have not yet come to an end. For instance, the introduction of CRDA on 2 further runways is being studied, as well as the application of the principle in advanced approach procedures. CRDA is substantially increasing Schiphol's capacity. In bad weather conditions, it is making all the difference. in safety, efficiency, and economy. CRDA, a staggering idea.